You know what? This is just like a breath of fresh air. I'm not kidding. I think it's been day 5, day 6. I don't even know what day it is, to be honest. But it's just everyone's in it for the right reason. Everyone's in it. You have great energy. You have great people. And at the end of the day, everyone's putting aside their agendas and doing what's best for the team. And let me tell you, it is refreshing, and everyone's excited to be here.
That era came to a stunning end when defenders could target the rookie with cheap shots while referees looked the other way. And Angel Reese and Kennedy Carter believed they could abuse Caitlin Clark without facing any repercussions.
Needs an enforcer. She needs a brute that will wreck people if they wreck her.
Sophie Cunningham recently arrived at Fever training camp with a message so potent that it's shaking the WNBA. In this video, we'll analyze Sophie's training camp play, interviews, and why she's now the Indiana Fever's secret weapon against all the bullies. If you're excited, leave a comment below with Sophie and a CC, and let's go. The veteran sharpshooter with a Taekwondo black belt isn't just joining the team. She's now the enforcer for the league's most targeted star.
You need one of those players on your team. You need one of those enforcers. Every good player, by the way. Every good player, every good team that is a super duper star. Most of the time have enforcer type players.
Remember how the excitement quickly changed to something else entirely when Caitlin Clark entered the WNBA as the most anticipated player ever? As games progressed, a troubling pattern emerged that left both fans and analysts in awe of what they were seeing. The numbers tell a story that cannot be ignored. Consider that for a moment, one rookie in a league of top athletes somehow ended up being the target of almost 1/5 of the most dangerous fouls in the game. This wasn't a coincidence. It was a calculated move. A startling 17% of all egregious fouls in the entire WNBA last season were committed against just one player, Caitlin Clark.
Hot topic going on right now. Caitlin Clark says she got cheap shotted against the sky. I mean, throughout the season, she's been getting beat up. Hard screens, elbows, knocked down.
The pattern became unavoidable as opponents targeted Clark with punishing screens, excessive body contact, and plays that went beyond what was considered safe to play. They weren't simply playing rough basketball, either. What ought to have been an honoring of extraordinary talent was instead a nightly trial in which the worst violators were soon exposed to the entire audience. Ree became Clark's most obvious adversary by combining constant trash talk and unrelenting physical play to make the rookie lose her game. But perhaps the most obvious instance was when Kennedy Carter's shoulder check during a quick break went viral on social media. These were statements rather than merely basketball plays.
Clark! Shimmer!
Made things worse. The authorities continuously failed to offer sufficient protection. Referees frequently blew their whistles during plays that would have resulted in other players being called right away. This left Clark attempting to lead a young Fever team with little experience around her while negotiating a physical minefield.
That's all I see. They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court.
The Fever front office wasn't blind to what was happening as they watched their franchise cornerstone absorb punishment night after night. They came to the firm conclusion that this treatment would not continue into Clark's sophomore season. Their response wasn't just about adding talent. It was a calculated decision to build a roster specifically engineered to protect their star like Clark. Throughout it all, Clark displayed remarkable composure despite enduring treatment that would have sent many veterans into public complaints. She never once used media availability to criticize officials or opponents. Instead, she put her head down and played through the contact with a level of professionalism that belied her rookie status.
She needs an enforcer, and if it ain't gonna be me, Michelle Rappaport, where is Charlize Oakley? Doesn't her team have a Zavaria McDaniels or a Rakisha Mahorn? She needs a goon on her team, because when your star player that's bringing so much money, so much attention to the league, and it's a collective, it's a bunch of them, it's been brewing.
This was done to convey to the league as a whole that attacking Caitlin Clark would now result in immediate repercussions, not only to win more games. The Fever were not only assembling a team, they were erecting a stronghold around their most prized asset. However, the question of who would spearhead this new protective mindset on the court remained. The Fever required a player who possessed the ideal blend of expertise, skill, and a willingness to set limits. They discovered their answer in a 6 feet 1 inch dynamo with a black Taekwondo belt and a reputation for never backing down from conflict.
Caitlin Clark was getting hit a lot. She was getting hit a lot early, and they needed their Charles Oakley. You've got that in Sophie Cunningham.
Enter Sophie Cunningham was a player whose reputation preceded her, but until she took the microphone at the training camp that preceded her career, no one really knew her ultimate purpose in Indiana. Behind the Fever's 37.8% 8% three-point shooting is something considerably more valuable, a Warriors mindset and a message that resonated throughout the league.
That's what they were doing in the offseason. They were trying to get winners, people who know how to compete, people who want to win, and put that together with experience, people who have championships. And so when you have that type of combination, and us kind of young bucks, I'm kind of a tweener, and then you have the vets, you know, you're just trying to be a sponge, you're trying to learn, you're trying to be good now, but at the end of the day, you're trying to be the best when it's preseason, right? And so that's why you have those vets, is so you can learn from them. They've been around the game for a really long time, and that's kind of the refreshing part about being on this team, that everybody wants to learn, and so everyone's dialed in.
Reporters were expecting the customary platitudes about fresh starts and team objectives when Cunningham entered her first Fever media session, but instead they heard 6 words that sent a ripple through the basketball community. "I'm here to make sure no one takes cheap shots at our players." That stops now in an era where most athletes stick to carefully crafted PR statements. It felt like a thunderclap when Cunningham made his direct announcement.
I think that everyone knows that we have something special here. I think a lot of teams have a lot of teams that are special, a lot of rosters that are special, but can you put it together? Can you put aside your agendas? Can you come into work every single day when you're tired, when you're sore, and still get something done and stack the days? And that's what we're doing. Today was tough, you know what I mean? Like, we've been going for a long time. They haven't been, this is not an easy training camp, I'll tell you that, but I think we're gonna be better for it. And I think if you ask anyone, everyone kind of just feels that nice energy.
Her background demonstrates a foundation of discipline and physical prowess that directly correlates to her playing style throughout her WNBA career, which is what makes her especially qualified for this protective duty. Cunningham is the ideal shield for a team that has to set limits because of her reputation as someone who never backs down from conflict.
7, and I did not believe people when they're like, hey, when you get old, you're gonna know. Boy, I think I'm starting to get old, and I hate saying that. But no, it's just, we play fast, right? We're gonna be quick. We're a run and gun, we're a shooting team. But with that, you got to get your cardio up. With that, you have to play fast but play smart. And so there's a fine line between that, and we're all trying to get that. There's a lot of people here, a lot of different rotations. A lot of people that you haven't played with before, so you have to know where they want the ball, when they want it, their rhythm, their style of play. And so a lot of people are learning, but it's fun, right? Everyone's excited to be here. Everyone's working hard. We've had 3 really, really good days.
The veterans' dedication extends beyond only protecting Indiana's standout rookie. She underlined in training camp interviews the importance of getting to know and love one another off the court and fostering an atmosphere where mutual support comes naturally. Cunningham added that this mindset suggests a deeper approach since it naturally translates to on-court synergy and a willingness to battle for each other. She is creating a culture where all players feel safe in addition to safeguarding Clark.
Chemistry building process been like, especially off the court?
Yeah.
Since you guys are all now in market.
You know, I don't even want to sound like this, but it's been easy. It's been easy because you have really, really great people here that want to be a part of something special. And so they're not only phenomenal athletes, but they're phenomenal people. They're out in the community. They do what's right. I don't know. We're just good stewards. And so when you're around those types of people, it's refreshing. And when I say this, I'm truly happy to be here because it hasn't been like this for my career in a really long time.
Cunningham didn't hold back when reporters explicitly asked her about the physical abuse Clark received during her first season. "That's not basketball," she said forcefully. "That's not going to happen on my watch." Her response was so straightforward that there was no opportunity for interpretation. The days of attacking the Fever's franchise player with undue aggression were over.
You play with the GOAT of our team, or the GOAT of our game, you're going to learn a lot. You know, you have to be ready for the ball, head on a swivel at all times. And the way that she throws the ball is a lot how DT threw it. I think this is just the younger version of her, so she has a little bit more energy, a little bit more spunk. I miss DT in her prime, but doesn't mean she wasn't great when I played with her. But honestly, at the end of the day, everybody can shoot, right? If you're cutting and you're open, you're going to get the ball. And so you just have to be ready for that. And I'm excited for that. And I think you'll see 1 through 5 is interchangeable.
Cunningham explained during camp how she blocks out outside noise and safeguards the team's mental space, saying, This veteran wisdom is proving invaluable for a young team facing unprecedented attention. Cunningham's experience playing with legends like Diana Taurasi and Brittany Gurrier has given her unique insight into handling the spotlight. I understand what it's like to have every move scrutinized.
So grateful and blessed to have my time out in Phoenix. I met a lot of cool people. I had a lot of great teammates. I learned a lot, had a lot of great times, but just a new era for me, right? A new system, a new type of energy. And so of course I'm excited for it. I'm happy to be close to my family. I'm excited to have my teammates. So I'm started to even get close with now. And I think we're gonna be lifelong friends. And so, I don't know, it's a new vibe and I'm happy.
Her basketball prowess and protective instincts work together to create a powerful presence. Her lethal three-point accuracy compels opponents to be honest, giving Clark more room to move. This dual threat makes the Fever much more dangerous. Beyond that lethal three-point shooting, Caitlin Clark has a basketball IQ that foresees threats before they materialize, and while fans may notice the scoring partnership developing between these two coaches, they are witnessing something much more significant developing on the defensive end of the court. As a result, opponents now face both athletic consequences for targeting Clark and basketball consequences for ignoring Cunningham.
We have entered Indiana Fever training camp day 3, and Sophie Cunningham is killing it.
It throughout intense practice sessions. Cunningham isn't just talking about protection. She's putting it into practice with a steady flow of communication that changes Indiana's defensive positioning. During drills, you'll see her directing traffic like an on-court air traffic controller, making sure Clark is never caught off guard by picks she doesn't anticipate, and pointing out screens before they happen. Because of the early warning system this strategic awareness produces, Clark can move around the court without continually checking over her shoulder. During scrimmages, the practice film creates an engaging narrative. By continuously calling out positions, predicting attacking actions, and arranging the whole defensive unit to function as a single unified force, Cunningham not only responds to defensive breakdowns, but also completely prevents them. This proactive strategy allows Clark to concentrate fully on her offensive game without worrying about the source of her next hit. This collaboration is especially unique since it goes beyond the court in between drills. Cunningham and Clark are frequently huddled together having passionate discussions about team dynamics and strategy. When the pressure builds in the fourth quarter, this quick growth of off-court chemistry has built a foundation of trust that translates immediately to game situations. This connection allows them to communicate with a simple nod or glance.
She sees the Indiana Fever putting Sophie back in that 3 position, so she sees her having like more of a breakout season than she'd had at the Mercury, having to play a position that wasn't exactly natural to her. But watching the footage, it's kind of crazy because I see Sophie Cunningham now as being able to play the 1, the 2, the 3, and with her experience over Mercury, the 4. Sophie Cunningham at the 1 as the point guard, you're crazy, you say, but no.
Another dimension to Cunningham's defensive presence is added by her versatility. Her ability to play a variety of positions, from point guard to power forward, gives the Fever unpredictable lineup combinations that keep opponents guessing. This positional flexibility causes matchup issues for opposing teams while giving Clark varying forms of support depending on the circumstance.
Run. Make them run. We need to be quicker than that group there. Okay.
And it looks like they were just kind of testing out Sophie as a point guard at times.
The influence goes beyond the Clark-Cunningham connection. Teammates have started to embrace this same protective mentality, fostering a culture within the team where defending one another is just what they do. It's no longer about a single enforcer. Rather, it's about a whole group that won't allow any member to be singled out or isolated.